Hi, my name is Roven, and I'm a Filipino accountant based in Dublin. Welcome to my humble channel. I mainly post travel vlogs, tech, or anything music related. So if you're not yet subscribed, please feel free to subscribe to my channel if my content interests you. So today is an exciting day as we have another sponsored video for you by INIU. This is their new INIU PowerNova B64. Let's check it out. So as you can see here, we have lots of power banks here, old and new. Some are INU products. We'll talk about comparisons in this video and what to look for when buying a high-spec power bank. So here's everything that's inside the box. We have the power bank. We have some booklets here, welcome guide, quick start guide, and also their support information there. So each INU power bank ships with a cloth mesh case and also a cable. So this ships with a Type-C to Type-C cable. So I assume this is also their 60-watt cable. So looking at the power bank, we have an in and out port, C1, C2 out port, and an A out port. So the C1 port, it can output 140 watt. C2 port can output 45 watt, and then the A port can output 18 watt. But both of them, if you're using them simultaneously, it can only output maximum of 24 watt. So looking at the details at the back of the power bank, so you can see here C1 or the in port, you have 5 volts, 9 volts, 15 volts, 20 volts, and 28 volts. So you can see for 5 volts, 9 volts, and 15 volts, 3 ampere. And then for 20 volts, it's 5 ampere. For 28 volts, it's 3.5 ampere. For a total of 100 watt max. Well, that's for the input, right? So if you're using a fast charger and you plug and charge this power bank, so that's their maximum, that's the maximum capacity for charging this power bank here. So we have 2 outputs, well, 3 outputs, including the in and out port. So the output C1, which is also the in port, it's also the same. I think it just, except for the 28 volts here, it's 5 amperes. So it can output more than the input, basically. So 5 volts until 20 volts, well, until 28 volts, the output power coming out of C1 port, it's 5 amperes, so it's 140 watt max. For C2 port and out A port, I'm just looking here, they're both the same on the 5 volt, they're both the same on the 9 volts here is 2 amperes only for out A, and then 3 amperes for C2. For the 12 volts, it's 1.5 only for output A, and 3 amperes for output C2. And output C2 also has a 15 volts 3 ampere output rating. So output C2 is 45 watt max, and output A again is 18 watt max, And then all the descriptions here are just variations of, hey, are you using C1 and C2? And this is the max capacity output for this kind of scenario. And when you look at the bottom here, it's when you're using all of them, the max output is 124 watt. And C1 here would be capable of outputting 100 watt max. So it's the same as what you see on the top, right? It just doesn't say. So if you're using all of this and also the in and out port, this can output 24 watt total for both of the outputs here. But if you're also using the in and out port, it can only output 100 watt. That's what basically this last line here is saying. Yeah, so all of the ports, if you use all of the ports, the output can only output 124 watt. So as an example, we have here an old power bank. This is a Rapo 10,000 milliampere power bank. It has two outputs there and one charging port. So this power bank, you can see here, the output says there 5 volts, 2.1 ampere, and output 2 is 5 volts again, 2.1 ampere. So there's no 9 volts, 12 volts, or 15 volts, or 18 volts, which would play that. The importance of that is when you charge power hungry devices like a laptop or an iPad. I know you can charge an iPad here, but most likely the iPad drains faster than you're charging it, just because of first the ampere output, and also sometimes the voltage also plays a part. So I'm showing again as well their another power bank of theirs. So this is this is the P62E1 power bank. So it's a 20,000 milliamperes as well. You can see that the output rating here, there's 5 volts, 9 volts, 12 volts. There's also 15 volts and 20 volts for output 1, which is also the in and out port here, right? So if you haven't seen my other video talking about this power bank here and also the MagSafe power bank, check that out. So just comparing this versus this, why do you need to buy this type of power bank, right? So let's compare it side by side. So I'm mainly gonna focus on 12 volts and 15 volts because, say you're charging a laptop, you'd be mainly want to look at that rating, right? So again, for this power bank here, 12 volts is for output 1, 12 volts is 3 amperes. Here, the output 1, there's no 12 volts here. You can see output 1, C1, there's no 12 volts. But 15 volts here is 3 ampere. 15 volts here is also 3 ampere. 20 volts is 3.25 amperes. 20 volts here is 5 amperes. And this one has 28 volts, 5 amperes. Now we move on to output 2. 12 volts, 3 amperes. And that's it. Here output 2, 12 volts, 3 amperes. And 15 volts, 3 amperes. Output 3, 12 volts, 1.5 amperes. So it's half of the 3 amperes here on output 2 for this power bank. So this one for output C2, the 12 volts is 3 amperes, and also 15 volts. Oh, sorry, we're looking at output A. So for output A, the third port here, we have the 12 volts and 1.5 amperes as well. Okay, so what do I mean that's important when you're looking to charge, say, a laptop? Let's look at the charging brick of a laptop. So this is my work laptop. So this is also the power adapter that charges this laptop here. So when you look at the back of the adapter, it says there output 15 volts 4 amperes. So this adapter outputs to my laptop 15 volts 4 amperes. So that's the power requirement for this laptop. Don't look at this one here. So it says there 5 volts 1 ampere, because this power adapter has a USB-A port here. So that's what I mean by the voltage of new and modern power banks are capable now of charging power hungry devices. So this power bank here can charge this laptop and also multiple devices at the same time, and I'm gonna show you that. So charge test number 1, as you can see, it's already plugged in and there's values here. I recommend going to their website or the manual to try to figure out what these values represent. But I'm gonna be focusing on, is it charging or is it not, right? So this is the first charge test. Let's see. Let me just log in here before I show you. Let's see. And let me... I can see there it's charging. Okay. Yeah, so it's charging there. Okay, so now let's plug another device, another power hungry device. I have a M1 iPad here. I'm gonna use one of their short cable. I think this is also a 60-watt cable, and plug it in one of the port, which is the Type A port. Okay. My case is thick, so it's not coming through. Okay, there I go. Yeah, now it's charging as well the iPad. And one last device. I'm gonna plug in my phone. There. So as you can see, this power bank can charge your laptop, your iPad, and also your phone. And you can see it's also fast charging my S23 Ultra here. So that's what I meant by modern power banks that are capable of now charging power hungry devices. So not only your iPad now, you can also charge your laptop. So before we end this video, I just want to share their website. Go to their website. They offer 15% off, and for first-time buyers, I think they also have a discount for first-time buyers, and if you're buying multiple stuff, you also get additional discounts. So this is the product. This is the B64 power bank. It's currently retailing for $79.99. So again, I'm based in Europe, so prices may vary. Just scrolling through their information page. So this, if you're not familiar, in airlines, you need to carry on your power banks. Don't check in your power banks, right? Because there's a risk of fire when you check in your power banks. So carry on your power banks, and the airlines have limitations on the total number of milliamperes for the power bank. So I think 27 is, at the high end of what's approved, the approved limit for carry on power banks. So check before bringing this to your flights. And also I want to share this one. They have a new version, the E version. So they gave me the older version, which is the B version, and it just looks the same. Let's see what's the difference. The weight is 158, output is 140. Let's go to the new release. So it's 89, so it's 10 euro more than the old one. Oh no, they put it in ounce. Okay, so I wouldn't know. So this is only 25,000 milliampere, and it looks the same. 140, 45, and 18 watts. So that's the end of this video. I hope you found it useful, and I hope it helps you on your next power bank purchase. Again, this is Rovan, signing off.